Hey there, hiker friends. Welcome to Hike Life. I'm Matt O, and today we're going to talk to you about a piece of equipment I'm real excited about. Actually, my goal is to talk you into getting this piece of equipment for your own hiking life. And if you've tried this piece of equipment before and you don't like it, well, that's one thing. But if you're thinking about it or have never tried it, maybe you never even thought about it, I'm here to talk you into going to get this piece of equipment because it's going to make a huge difference in your own hiking experience. So that piece of equipment that I've been waiting to tell you about is these trekking poles. So probably about 10 years ago, I was at work with a buddy of mine, and we were in our work truck driving to the job site, and he was telling me about some of his long distance hiking adventures that he'd had when he was younger. And he gave me a little piece of advice. He said, Matt, if you ever get a chance to use trekking poles, you should do it. They're an amazing piece of equipment. And I kind of forgot about it. At that point in my life, I wasn't really into hiking, even though I had done some hiking, and I've always been big into the outdoors in different ways. So I kind of forgot about that piece of advice until, 3 or 4 years ago. I was hiking with another buddy of mine, and he had a pair of these. And I started asking him questions. I was like, hey, how do you like those? What's the benefits of them? What don't you like about them? And I think maybe I kind of annoyed him. Finally, he's like, hey, why don't you take these for the rest of the trail and see how you like it? So I was like, all right, cool. So hiked with him for several hours as we finished out that trail, and I fell in love with them in a real short period of time on that day hike. So now I'm going to tell you what I love about them. But first, before I tell you what I love about trekking poles, I'm going to tell you a couple of the cons, because every piece of equipment has its own pros and cons. So the cons to trekking poles, well, it's more equipment to take care of. It takes up more space on your backpack or in your hands, more to keep track of, and I guess they just weigh a little bit more. The more stuff you have, the more it weighs. So those are probably the only cons I can think of to these things, but I thought I should mention them. Now, on to the reasons why I love trekking poles. I've got six main reasons. First reason, balance. Basically, when you got these things, you got four-wheel drive. You got 4 feet on the ground. It's way easier to tip over a person than it is to tip over a horse or a cow. They've got 4 legs on the ground. Now you just gave yourself 4 legs. And I'm kind of clumsy, so the more balance options and reducing my tipping over and scraping my nose on a rock I can do, I'll do it. You walking down the trail, you got these, you can pick out spots, put them down, and just help keep yourself balanced and upright. And let's say you're on a several day backpacking trip and you got a lot of weight in your backpack, and you've done your best to get your weight down to as little as possible, and you've got it close to your back, and you've got it as good a center of gravity as possible. You still have a lot of weight that you're not used to carrying around for most of us, and so that's going to tend to make you tip over. You got this, it's on your back, it's 2/3 of the way up your body, actually even higher than that, and so all that weight up high makes it easy for you to tip over. So you put 2 extra legs on the ground, now you're not tipping as much. I've saved myself several times of landing face first in the rocks and dirt with a pair of these. So balance, huge. These things are great for balance. The second thing I like about using trekking poles is going uphill. So when you're going uphill, it's a lot of work on your legs, and especially in your thighs and your butt muscles, ton of work. What I like to use these for is I can stick these up just slightly up the hill for myself, and I can actually use them along with my legs to kind of pull myself up the hill. And that takes some of the wear and tear off of my thighs and my big muscles that I'm trying to use to get up the hill, and it puts it into your arms and makes that climb quite a bit easier. So going uphill, these things are awesome. Can't say enough about using these. My dog's over there just going nuts, so if you see me glancing over at something, it's just my dog Pika. She loves to come hiking with me, and then we stop for a minute, and she's pretty much ADD, like ADHD to the max. So right now she's chasing creek water, in case you're wondering what I'm looking at. Then you got your downhill. These things are awesome for downhill. So you go downhill, you're trekking downhill, boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, and the trail is kind of rocky. Maybe it's a little muddy. Maybe it's got a lot of pebbles or sand to make it easy to slip. You can use these. You pick out a couple of spots to just balance and give yourself some extra stability, and then you walk down a few steps. You pick out another spot. It makes it so much easier to get downhill and so much really safer. I found them to make my hiking safety increase by a lot just from having these. And like I said, I'm kind of clumsy, and I like to be in a hurry, so it's just, these help me out so much going downhill. Let's see, what else about downhill? Something came into my mind and then it left. Oh well, we'll talk about that another time if I think of it. So you got your balance, you're uphill, you're downhill. Now on the flats, I mean, you don't really need these on the flats, but I have found them to be a tremendous help. And they help me maintain a really good momentum and a really good pace. When I'm not hiking with trekking poles and I'm cruising along on a nice flat area, I find that my pace goes up and down, up and down, up and down. I'll be going pretty good speed for a while, and then I'll taper off, and then I'll find them kind of slowing down a little bit. Then I'll hurry up, and then I pretty good speed for a while, and then I taper off. But for some reason, I don't know why, and I've heard other people mention this, these things help you keep a good, really good pace, really good rhythm, and just overall help out quite a bit. And I know that for some people, it helps out with their back. Maybe you're getting a little bit older and your back aches. Maybe you got some back problems. This helps take some of the weight off your back. And they're just overall great piece of equipment. The other thing I found out about using my trekking poles is when I've been on a long day hiking and you're walking along with your hands hanging down by your side, my fingers and hands tend to swell up. So then I tuck them up here underneath my shoulder straps, and I walk along like that to help the swelling go down. Trucking along like that for a while, and then my thumbs get sore, so they hang back down. And overall, my hands would just kind of swell up a little bit, and I just didn't like that. But once I started using these trekking poles, I found out my hands don't swell at all. Maybe a tiny bit, but hardly noticeable to no swelling. Because you got your hands basically close to heart level. You're moving them, so that keeps the circulation going. And that blood just doesn't sink down to your fingertips and in your hands, because they're not just hanging there. So your hand swelling is very minimal when you're using these. I just can't say enough about how much I love using trekking poles. And I really hope that if you're thinking about it, you go out and get a pair. Coincidentally, these things have come in really handy in the last couple of weeks with this whole shelter-in-place deal and 6 foot apart. Yeah, you're on the trail, you see somebody coming, you'd be like, hey man, and you got to be polite about it because, hey, we're all just trail buddies, we're friends. 6 feet, please don't cough in my face. I don't want to take the coronavirus home with me. 6 feet, 6 feet. Gives you a real good judge of distance. Because for me, from the tip of that trekking pole to my shoulder is exactly 6 feet. Perfect, works out great. Also, take them into the grocery store. Take them into the bank. People are staying, now look at this. Look at this. Not only you got 6 feet, you get going in both directions, you got 12 feet. 12 feet of perimeter protection right there. All because you went out and bought your trekking poles. And then walking through the grocery store, I see that last jar of peanut butter in the aisle. I'm the only one in the aisle, so I head for it. And I see somebody else coming. And I'm like, bam! Wah! 6 feet of protection. That jar of peanut butter is mine. You stay away. I don't want you coughing in my face. My peanut butter. So, that one's going to go away in a little while, but for right now, it's just amazing. You should try it. So you can go pick up a pair of one of these, pair of two of these, a pair, I don't know. Go pick up a pair of trekking poles. If you want, you can spend like $200-300, even more on these, but you don't have to. And if it's your first pair, don't. You want to upgrade later, great. But this pair right here that I've been using for a couple of years, 20 bucks at Walmart or Big Five. I don't remember. They sell them at both places. Go to your local sporting goods store and you can get a pair for 20 bucks, and they work great. They're strong enough. They're not super heavy. And then you'll get an idea whether you like them and you're not wasting a ton of money. And if you don't like them, you throw them in your closet, maybe hand them off to a buddy who does like them, and you're only down 20 bucks. Then later on, you can, if you really, really like them and you're like, hey, I think I'm going to get some really good pair of trekking poles, then you can spend a little bit more money. But you're not deep in the hole with just a cheap pair of trekking poles that will do just great and last you quite a while. So guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody that has subscribed. Appreciate everybody that has liked my videos and gave me a thumbs up. Leave some comments in the comment section. Tell me what you think about poles, trekking poles. If you like them, if you don't like them. Ask me some questions. I'll try to get you some answers. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. And I'll see you next time. Oh yeah, I'm going to make this a two-part video. So this is part one. My dog's barking at the water. That's what you're hearing. So part two, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to use them. It's not rocket science, but we're just going to talk about how to use your poles. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep safe. Go out and hike. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.